by artist and sculptor Narayan Sinha. Narayan's works dot Kolkata's cityscape, from ICCR to Howrah to all around where we are right now. He will be in conversation today with Mr. Harshvardhan Neotia, whom we also know for several reasons. Today, though, he's here as a patron of the arts and a long-time supporter of Narayan's work. As a patron of the arts, he's also someone who's been very special for Kolkata Literary Meet and who has always extended his support. Mr. Neotia and Narayan Sinha, as we said, they've had a long association, and we bring them together for Kolkata Literary Meet today to talk about Firelight. Mr. Neotia, over to you.
Thank you very much. Warm welcome, friends, particularly all the friends who are connected onto the virtual platform. Hello, Narayan. Welcome. As the introducer just said, that my association with Narayan is for a very long time. I think it's about 11, 12 years when I first met him at his show called Devi at the ICCR. And I wanted to set up some sculpture in Raichak, where I have a property. And I invited Narayan to visit. And I don't know what happened. In order to help me locate where he could possibly do an installation, we were setting up a restaurant, and I wanted to do something in the campus of the restaurant. And then he did some sketching for the whole night. Early in the morning, he comes to me with a whole pad of all sorts of things. He says, whatever you have planned for the restaurant has to be debunked, and I'm going to give you a revised plan. I was completely shocked out of my wits. He was a sculptor, an artist. What does he know about interior design? But what lasted for several hours after that was a conversation that converted me from looking at him as a sculptor to an interior designer. And I think that was probably his first job that he did as an interior designer of a restaurant. And I still think it is a very seminal work. And so in Narayan, I found a multi-talented individual who's a painter and sculptor, a jewelry designer, designer of weddings now, and designer of interiors, and perhaps one day maybe even a fashion designer. So this is Narayan. Tell me, what inspired you to do this entire range of work, and just take us back into your childhood. What helped you to become what you are?
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everybody. Because I have never planned my life, nature planned for me. And, when I started my journey, I know I'm a creative person. I love to dance. I love to sing. Acting was my passion.
We're going to take you up for both today.
Yes.
So be ready.
I feel I'm a very fluid energy. That energy can be converted into anything. Like, obviously, I don't want to tag myself like a sculptor, artist, or an interior designer, or a wedding designer, or sometime I cook. I can, in life, we love to tag in every section. In my case, I don't know tag myself. I feel that as a human being, the way I'm connecting with nature, the way I'm connecting or interacting with this society, whatever opportunity comes to me, I love to appreciate that opportunity. And I feel, that opportunity gives me a scope to understand my ability and understand in a very deeper way. So that's my inspiration, and I feel as a human being, I want to be happy. So that is my inspiration.
Wonderful. I think if I look at Narayan's journey as a person watching him grow from, I think he started off trying to make people happy. His design and his sculptures were celebratory. They were around religiosity, worship, the divinity in ordinary objects, which he converted into images of the Devi. Then he did jewelry designing, again celebratory. And now we see him in Firelight transform himself, instead of trying to please the world, is pleasing himself. Trying to create objects that reflect an inner urge to express himself, where perhaps in itself the items that you will see later on have a certain amount of melancholy, maybe a little bit of morbidity also, but in it is speaking a language that only Narayan can express, because it is his inner journey. I think the first part of his life was, I think, earning a living. Now he is living a life. Is this a fair
So
description?
true, so true. Thank you.
So tell me, what is it that brought you to this completely mind-blowing, eclectic, should I call it avant-garde kind of work, which is so really unusual, very difficult to understand if you don't try to explain somebody, very beautiful, aesthetically very interesting, but there is some pain that I see in a lot of work here, that you can feel it, you can feel that there is an anguished heart trying to speak a language and trying to say something. Would you like to share something?
Yeah, I love to. Actually, I felt in my early childhood that I'm a discarded human being, because my beloved friends, they discarded me in certain way, and then the society and my not core-relatives, but the other relatives and conforming society, the way I was performing as a human being, that is not a institutional character or behavior towards certain things. So I'm not a conforming human being. So I was, then I accepted myself the way people came up to me or tagged me. Then I feel, okay, let's play a role. Okay, whatever people will come up to me, I love to celebrate that life. But at the same time, I will make a very quiet parallel journey that will give me immense pleasure towards myself. And end of the day is very important. Initially, I was not respecting myself, and there are several people, they never respect themselves, but they perform the way your parents, your close neighbor or society, or so many people, expecting out of you. That was there. But when I understood that success is all about understanding yourself and celebrating over a glass of water, or might be doing nothing, but respecting yourself is very important. So from my childhood, because I love to share a little story about my life, because my grandfather was a doctor, and he served for that village, and he was very well to do. And my grandmother, she's from Jamindar's family, so it was quite well decorated family, I can say. And suddenly my grandfather passed away when my father was just 4 years boy, and then whole like decorative form get into a very devastating form. And from there, as a kid, my father stood against the society, against any sort of odds, and he established himself as a human being and then as a businessman. But he was not appreciating that business part, because I had seen him so many times that he's like a Robin Hood kind of, because he was fatherless, so he loved to protect others. But in my case, he felt, oh, Robin Hood's son might be a Robin Hood, but I was not that. I was a very tiny boy. And my all relatives start comparing with my father, because he's very masculine and hardworking and this and that. And I was a very tiny boy who is living a dual life, where my father world is all about cacophony, accident, money, hardship, metal, grease, mobile, and so much of dust, and people are fighting with each other. And then when I go up, and my mother is there with food, with love, rituals, color, her bangles, her sindoor, and all these things, and then obviously vegetables and all these things. So in my childhood, I was appreciating both ways, but my father words teased me in several ways. And it was very suffocated childhood, inner childhood, but it's because my father is very well-to-do. They love me a lot, but somewhere, you know, I stood first in my class, and then my father told, you should be a doctor, and you have to serve for the society. You know, and my father is very like typical Johor Sarkar or that actor, Chobi Bishas kind of powerful human being. And when he told, I'm like, yes, I have to. So, you know, and his dream became my dream. And somewhere I was losing myself, but I was determined that the tiny Narayan loved to live with himself, but at the same time, let's do that thing. So, and then obviously when I told myself that I don't want to be a doctor, I love to pursue my creative career in any form. And from there, you know, whatever opportunity comes up to me, and I don't want to go back after practicing art. I told myself that whatever hurdles will come, I'll stick to that. I have to earn money, I have to go out from Nolati, I have to understand the language, because, you know, I can't even speak Bengali properly. So, and I was very skinny. So there are so many hurdles in front of me. So I appreciated myself, and then I started doing that journey. And obviously you are talking about Devi and other form, because before Devi I did 20 shows. And this shows was in Academy of Fine Arts, Birla Academy, Jahangir Art Gallery, Tina Ambani show, and all those shows were there. But I was never noticed, and then I felt what to do. For the survival, I developed my jewelry line, and it's made me settle, and I start paying my 2-3 people, and they are school drop boys, you know, and I told that I can support you and please support me, because I want to continue my journey. But whatever thing will happen, this is my track, and I want to continue on that track. And that took me 20 years. And then Devi happened, and then you offered me project, and there are so many people, they came up to me, they gave me so much project, and I never felt that this is interior, this is jewelry, this is that. And then I felt, you know, because when I was start practicing after Devi work, because earlier, you know, I have a very secured life. Coming to Kolkata, it was very unsettled in every way. The urban language is completely different, the way people interact, the way they talk, and when you are not there, again it's flipped. And then, you know, it's very tough, because my father told me, whatever you feel, just say it. So it was not that, and editing myself. And then people start tagging me that, oh, Narayan is a page 3, is a Dhuti Punjabi boy, or a wedding designer, or I love to do it, because I knew that in my childhood, all my friends that told me, oh, you are ugly, you are a dhanga, this and that. So, you know, when people start appreciating my outer part, I feel let's start playing that role in a very proper way. So last 10 years, while I was doing those roles in a very serious manner, but I know I am an actor and I love to act and enjoy it thoroughly. But inside, you know, when I was earning, I was keeping my saving aside, and I was preparing for Firelight, where I should talk about myself. So that's the way Firelight happened.
Wonderful. I think it is quite evident that this has truly been your pain, your anguish, your formative years. All of that has resulted in this very magnificent exhibition. We will come back to you and some of your personal anecdotes, and we will do some trivia as well towards the end of the show. But since we are here to discuss Firelight, let us go to some of the sculptures that will come up on your screen as we talk. And I will ask Narayan to briefly, in about a minute, explain to you the significance of why that particular sculpture was made and what is the story behind it, if there is a story. And before we start that, Narayan, why did you call it Firelight?
Obviously, that's my journey, but my friend Pratik Raja has given that title, so I'm very blessed. But obviously I was sharing my life because I read in Bengali medium school, so I wrote poetry and I sent pages and pages of one-liner and this and that. And then Priyanka and Pratik told, okay, we will come back. So they came back with Firelight. And obviously I've been through so much of pain last few months. And then Priyanka told me, if you do that show, you have to do it in 3 months. And that time I was been through the depression. I can't even feed myself. So they called me overnight and they told, Inadi also was there, Ina Puri. And the three person, they told, you have to do the show. Whatever things happen, delete it. And then I told, within 2 months, how may I? So then I came back and I told to myself, Naran, you can do it. Don't make a drama. So I started and that Firelight, and now I'm a alive body. So that is all about Firelight.
So
Came from.
fantastic.
Yeah.
So we must thank Priyanka and Pratik for this wonderful title. And I think, don't you think that this house and this whole sort of environment in which it is located is like a muse to that sculpture? Because I think there is something that makes me feel that if this exhibition were anywhere else, it would just not have the magic that it does within these banana plantations, within this decay, a house that is crying out for attention, probably has lived its life but still says, I have life left. Don't you think there's something like that?
I love to share that part. It's a very important and integral part for my show.
আমরা মাঝে মাঝে বাংলাতে একটু বলবো কারণ some of your expressions will come out better if we
Okay, when I'll be emotional, so I love to explain, but I want to thank few people. It's very important. This is a platform. Without their support, that project can't be take place. I was looking for that bungalow. I told you 10 years back that I'm looking for a bungalow, and I told all my friends. And then one evening, I was with Radhika Singhi and I was sharing that I need a house, and and then she told, oh, there is a bungalow in Queen's Park, go and have a look. So we came, and next to that bungalow, they have a beautiful bungalow with marble floor, this and that, and she told, do it here, it's a beautiful bungalow. So I'm like, yeah, I love to, but this is not my story because I'm looking for a dilapidated house, And then he said, oh, iska bagal wala bhi bungalow un logo ka hai to dekhna chahte, but I don't want to get into that bungalow. So we just go and explore because I have some work. And she left. And I was left alone. It was evening. And that security guard is a very typical broken voice. And she was like guiding me towards that building. When I came that building, and I felt, oh my God, that is me. I want to tell my story over that. And then I start renovating that place, and it took 1.5 years. And during that time, I tried a lot to start my work, but that house didn't allow me to start my project because that house has so many stories to share with me, and they told, if you are not going to share my story, then I'm not going to allow your story. And last 10 years, like 7 years story, and my journey was very important, and that house told, no, my story is important. I'm like, okay, you obviously this is not a rental place, nothing, so I have to appreciate that house. So I'm like, okay, let's start listening your language. So when I was roaming around, there were 1,000 bats were there. There are so many small creatures over there. It was stinking, and it was telling story because obviously বাংলাতে বলতে হবে, কত মৃত শরীরের উপরেই বাড়িটা দাঁড়িয়ে আছে, কত উৎসবের উপরে দাঁড়িয়ে আছে, কত গর্ভস্রাবের উপর দাঁড়িয়ে আছে, কত গর্ভধারণের গল্পে দাঁড়িয়ে আছে, কত প্রেম হয়েছে, কত নগ্নতা হয়েছে, কত মৃত শরীর এখানে জন্ম নিয়েছে, কত সুন্দর শরীর জন্ম নিয়েছে, কিন্তু বাড়িটা নিশ্চল হয়ে শুধু দেখেছে। বিকজ when we sculpt something, or when we create something and we pretend that is our identity, that is a materialistic identity, and we are after that, like that bungalow, that car, these, that. And when I came, I was also talking about my materialistic journey because there is ego, it's a very dramatic childhood to play. But when I came here, completely for 1.5 years, the whole energy sabotaged me and told Narayan, even every day it was a huge struggle to understand that house energy and my energy. And over 1.5 years, we bonded over. People say that what kind of energy you're talking about, you're a rubbish or I'm a mad. But yes, on the planet, there is energy. I don't believe that I'm a alive body and it's a potassium and sodium is mineral. But with potassium sodium imbalance, we can't act. So I feel we all on the planet deeply connected. Whether my metal, because my metal says to me, there's a huge friendship. But at the same time, there is a alive body, my friends, they don't understand me, they don't want to talk to me. So I can't say these are the non-living thing or mechanical thing or something like that. So when I got that house, I start experiencing that energy, and somewhere it merged into certain energy, and something happened. Obviously, the question was not there. Then I got to know that as a human being, I'm so insignificant because we can't control anything. And whatever materialistic comfort I had last year with COVID and Amphan, that cyclone, all gone. My all projects gone, my all sculpture broke, my flat was flooded, I was left with almost zero balance. So, because I was collecting my materialistic identity or security, but nature taught me that obviously COVID happened, and I was praying for my daughter's life, my father's life, and 32 people were suffering from that. That time I understood there is nothing in my control. Even my life is not controlled. I felt, oh, I'm going to die because it's last August. And then when I came to Kolkata, when I was blessed with so many things, but I was left out with my few friends, and I was lost almost all identities, and I was very, very devastated form, and I can't even breathe, I can't even feed myself. And then, the depression and hallucination happened, and there is a sense of suicidal tendency. And then one day I got a call from my father that if you are not going to live, that before you, I have to leave the planet. So that is the huge turning point in my life. And then I came back to that house, and then I understood the story of that house. So then I felt I am not important. And that's because that the collaboration with that house, I can't say muse, but I feel that whole house, every single particle supported me, embraced me, and put my nerve in a mode where I can create something, and it's become a proper friendship, and over that friendship, that firelight happened.
This is quite an incredible story. I think, friends, anyone who would hear Narayan speak this would really be moved because we've heard about ideas of energy, we've heard about inanimate objects creating its own field of influence, but to have this kind of jugalbandi, if I may use the word, between an artist and what we think is a dead, decrepit building, yearning to be spoken to, and found in Narayan a voice to whom the building could speak and Narayan could speak back. And I'm sure that if this building and this whole environment was not what it is, the magic of firelight, the way it has transformed, the way it has come, may not have ever been the same. So I'm sure this has the profound influence that you've had and the building has had on you, I think mutually, has really made this very, very special. So now let's go to a few of your sculptures. Of course, there's lots here. For those of you who haven't visited it, I'd really urge you. I think it'll be here for about a month and a half. I don't know how long, but certainly before the monsoon hits, I think it'll be worthwhile if all of you who are watching this in Calcutta, certainly, and even for those who are out of Calcutta, I know COVID times travel is a bit of a challenge. Please do see this because it is something to be experienced. So tell me about this two sides of a saber. Of course, you talked about this a little bit, so you can be brief and talk about this particular piece of art.
Before I start, regarding my sculpture, I want to thank Upadhyay family because without their support, last 3 years, without any rent, anything, I'm occupying their place, and they are so supportive. Sneha, Sagat, Ujjal Upadhyay, all people got up, and they never told anything, and without their support, I can't present that show. So I'm really thankful. I'm coming back to that sculpture again. Baba, sorry, তোমার আমার গল্প, but আমি আমার বাবাকে খুব ভালোবাসি মন থেকে. I want to be like my father. He's a brave. He's very like man. I'm not that typical man. I'm a human being, I feel. But the value system, when I'm talking about, it's all about the value system. And I got a lathe machine, and that's my father's one. And I replicated that form into wood, and this is little fragile. It can be curved. This is me, and my father is very strong, but both have a very straight spine, and both are looking in an opposite direction, but we can coexist. We can live our life proudly, but at the same time, our experience of life or practicing of life is completely different. But with mutual respect, we coexist. And again, Baba, I love you.
This is really a wonderful idea, the fact that we can be so different and yet have a lot of mutual respect. I mean, I think there's something to learn from this approach. There is nature reigns. Oh. It's a little bit of a morbid piece, lots of cobwebs. What do you say about this?
Yeah, actually, we have a factory, and Baba has both sides. So Baba built a huge factory, and next to the factory there is a vegetable garden. So I always run that area, that factory area, and get into the vegetable garden. So, and when I grew up and I understood that money is very important, without money you can't go anywhere. So I start appreciating our factory, but in Bengali, আমি মনে মনে আমার সমস্ত বাবার যান্ত্রিকতা ধুয়ে মুছে দিতে চেয়েছি প্রকৃতির গ্রাসে, বাট এটা বলতে গিয়েও হৃদয় কেঁপে ওঠে, বিকজ এটা আমার বাবার ইনস্টিটিউট, বাট আমি চেয়েছি প্রকৃতি এবং মানুষ যেভাবে গোটা পৃথিবীকে মেকানিক্যাল জার্নিতে ঘর বাড়ি কংক্রিট ব্রিজ এগুলোই যদি ম্যানকাইন্ড হতো, তাহলে হয়তো স্পিরিচুয়ালিজম নেচারের কাছে স্যারেন্ডার হওয়া, আজ আমরা মুখ ঢেকে লজ্জায় ঘুরতাম না। সো প্রকৃতিকে অ্যাপ্রিসিয়েট করাটা খুব ইম্পর্টেন্ট, নইলে আমাদের জায়গাটা নষ্ট হয়ে যাবে। তো দিস ইজ অল অ্যাবাউট দ্যাট স্যারেন্ডার টুয়ার্ডস দ্য নেচার।
তারপরে তোমার নেক্সট হচ্ছে ফায়ারলাইট, এই যেখানে একটা বাথটাব আছে, তার মধ্যে বোধহয় গ্রিস।
হ্যাঁ, আমার ছোট বয়সের দু একটা গল্প বলেছি, যেখানে আমি আমাদের ফ্যাক্টরি পাশে ছিল, তো ওখানে গ্রিজ মোবিল রাখা থাকতো। তো ওই আমি যখন স্নান করতাম, আই ফিল সো ফিলথি because I feel that I'm pouring instead of water, I'm pouring grease and mobile. So that is there. And show my irritation, I put some nail. But now when I look back, there is no irritation. So there is a very defined design, on the floor. So this is my childhood memory.
This is really a fascinating sculpture called Engulf. It is done with what?
Silencer pipe, truck silencer pipe.
Wow. And when I saw it with you first time, I said, by looking at it, I feel it's the image of goddess Durga. And you said, how true. Is it really what you thought in your mind?
Yes, and obviously I bonded over. I appreciate you, I respect you, I love you. But when you told that, yes, there is a Bedi and there is a Durga or any sort of idol, first time I connected over deeply with you. Yes, it's that while I was creating, when I saw that pedestal or Bedi kind of thing, and obviously people know me with Devi, and I feel as a man, when you want to get that Devatto or that positive power, that some extent spiritual superiority, you have to understand one thing, that you have to ignore the negative part or the materialistic part or materialistic belonging towards you, because it's very provocative. The way the silencer pipe, generates smoke and all these things, it will bug you, it will destroy you, but to put you on the pedestal, you have to address and clear it up. So that is all about that sculpture.
Wonderful. Then there is this Pran Shakti.
Yes, that is me in my December phase, early December, because that time I felt I'm a dead body. Somebody cut my head, the Gunda took out my workshop, and that so many drama was happening. But I felt that I'm alive. Till my last breath, I have to function. That's all. So I believe in my Pran Shakti, and everybody should believe in their own Pran Shakti.
Then this is Bhalobashar
Macha.
Macha.
Exactly.
What is this?
আমি
এটা একটা বেডের মতন নাকি?
ইয়েস, এটা আমার খুব স্পেশাল, হৃদয়ের কাছের। আমার পার্সোনাল লাইফ নিয়ে হয়তো অনেক জনের কিউরিয়াসিটি আছে। তো আমি একটাই আজকে একটা কথা বলতে চাই, যে একটা পুরুষ আর একটা নারী মিলে একটা ঈশ্বরের শক্তিকে পৃথিবীতে আনে, সেটা হচ্ছে সন্তান। আমি 10 বছর আগে যখন আমার ছোটো বোনকে বললাম যে বাবু, আই ওয়ান্ট টু বি ফ্রি হিউম্যান বিং and I don't want to get married, and Baba was forcing, but I need my child, and she told me, no, how could you do it, because you are a very rigid person and very orthodox person. My father will appreciate, but you will never appreciate yourself. But I start realizing there is an energy, the way I experience firelight in my work or my life. Most of the time when I look at the sky, I can see a baby every time, and it's become my rituals. And then last 8 years I was praying for that energy, and obviously there are so many people that supported me. This is very important for Naida. Then Madhudi, first time I shared with her. Then Joyashree Burman, the artist, I shared with her. And then I got Naida. So in my bedroom, I planted that Lauer Macha. Seta shudu anondo দেয়, তার কোনো কারণ নেই, সে কিছু চায় না। তো আমার ভালোবাসার মানুষ পৃথিবীতে এসেছে, সো ওটা আমার নাইডা।
বাহ, খুব সুন্দর।
থ্যাংক ইউ।
আরেকটা অসাধারণ ওখানে একটা আছে, কল্ড ফেসেস। ইটস এ রিয়েলি ভেরি, আই থিঙ্ক ইটস এ বিউটিফুল ডিসপ্লে। এটা বিভিন্ন ধরনের টুপি আছে বোধহয়, কি আছে?
অ্যাকচুয়ালি এটা আমি প্রথমে ভেবেছিলাম যে লাইটের একটা মানে বক্স, বাট তুমি জানো যখন আমরা কোনো এনার্জিকে, তো আমি ভাবছি এটা কি অরিজিনালি নো। আজকে আমার কথা বলা আছে তোমার সাথে, তুমি তো জিজ্ঞাসা করবে। আজকে সকালে আমি কোনা এক্সপ্রেস গেছিলাম, যখন ফিরে আসছি এসির ওটা গ্যাস ভরা থাকে, তো ওটা কাট করা হয়। মানে আমি যেন সব সত্যি কথা বলি, ওই এনার্জিটা আমাকে জাস্ট দেখিয়ে দিল। জাস্ট অ্যাট এ গ্লান্স আমি ফার্স্ট টাইম দেখতে পেলাম যে ওটার মধ্যে এসির গ্যাস ভরা থাকে। তো অবভিয়াসলি মানুষের মাথায় তো এখন মেজর পোর্শনে আমি দেখি গ্যাসই ভরা আছে, মানে আমি যদি ভাবি আমার নিজেকে। এবং ওটা আমার সারাউন্ডিংসের কথা বলেছি, কখনো আমার মনের প্রকৃতির কথা বলেছি, কখনো কাঁদে, কখনো দুঃখ পায়, কখনো গাছ হয়ে যায়, কখনো কীটপতঙ্গ হয়ে যায়, কখনো নোংরামি করে, কখনো দুঃখ পায়, কখন স্পিরিচুয়াল কথা বলে। সো ইটস মাইট বি মি অর মাই সারাউন্ডিংস।
ওকে, লেটস গো টু দ্য নেক্সট ওয়ান, বসন্ত।
এইটা আমি যেমন আজকে সন্ধ্যাবেলায়, আমরা জানি না সকালবেলায় কে রক্তভূমি করেছে, কে হারিয়েছে, কে পেয়েছে, বাট সন্ধ্যার এই অনুষ্ঠানে সবাই পোশাক পরে সুগন্ধি মেখে এসেছে, আদর করে এসেছে। তো জীবন হচ্ছে তাই। আমি যেদিন রক্তভূমি করেছিলাম, তো আমি বেসিনটা সরিয়ে দিয়ে রক্তভূমিটা দেখিয়েছি, বাট সেই দিনই সন্ধ্যাবেলায় আমার মা নলহাটি থেকে এসেছিল। তো মা যখন আমাকে আদর করে খাওয়াচ্ছিল, আমার মনে হচ্ছে আমার সারা শরীরে বসন্ত। তো এইটা হচ্ছে জীবনের নিয়ম, যে কখন কিভাবে ধরা দেবে, বা যেভাবেই ধরা দেবে হাম্বলি অ্যাকসেপ্ট করতে হবে। তো বসন্ত আর রক্তভূমি দুটোই লাল। তো আমাদের জীবন হয়তো সুন্দর গল্প দিয়ে লালায়িত করতে হবে। সো দ্যাট ইজ অল অ্যাবাউট দ্যাট স্প্রিং অর বসন্ত।
So it's this continuous wave of life where you have ups and downs. So you're talking about that experience while you were going through a particularly depressing moment, and then there was this beautiful moment where your mother comes and feeds you. And I think you're trying to express that the ups and downs of life and how some beauty is there hidden within the pain also. This ruthless act, this looks also very melancholic, like something died, no?
Yes.
Died yet wants to live, probably.
Yes, there are few bodies were there. It's not about that house, but when I saw those rooms, very tiny rooms, in Bengal it's called kuturi. So, you know, in earlier days, the Raja and Maharajas say, Amar ghora shale ghora ache, hati shale hati ache, Amar harami atogulo mohila eto purush ache. Ei dasotto, you know, that slavery I'm talking about, I'm also slave to myself, you know, to define, to conquer my materialistic journey or to be a nice human being to portray. I'm struggling every single day and pleasing myself and saying that, Narayan, let's do that project, let's do it, let's send this thing, do that. So somewhere, you know, most of the time as a dead body I'm performing to get that aliveness. But somewhere I'm free today. You know, after COVID, after this and that, and after Firelight, I feel I'm liberated. But I want to focus in this point because there are few points in my mind. One, worldwide, it's a human chaos is happening. Everybody showing their muscle power. Everybody wants to prove their point, but collectively we are human beings. We should love each other. We should hug each other without any identity, without any gender, without any religious aspect, without that typical country or nation boundary. So, you know, because we want to try to kill others to establish my voice. My voice is so important. It's important to collectively appreciate our mother planet, our nature, and appreciate the way we are and should walk on ourselves and kill that negative energy, that nuclear energy, whatever energy driven towards against mankind or that love, passion. I'm talking about that dead bodies. In India, the way I'm experiencing my life, I feel so claustrophobic. I feel I'm a dead body. I have to edit myself. I have to be really in a safe position as a human being. I should protect my near and dear one. The whole body should be alive. So that is all about these things, but I'm very scared and I feel everyone should come up. It's not about our living on non-living or our material existence or our identity. It's a collective identity. We are under threat. The corona is happening. There are so many aspects is happening where as a human being, I feel that I'm really horrified. The way the small petty things are happening over human body, over human mind, over love, over passion. People should come forward and only talk about love and not spread hatreds and not talk about dead bodies. I can't accept it. Not about human. Human being is the most worst creature. We should appreciate all creatures, animals. At the same time, the plants, our mother planet, mostly our inner dead bodies, clear it up and start talking in a very right way. I'm starting. I have already started. I can't say that I'm a good human being or something, but the dead bodies, when I feel that smell, I love to clean it up, and I'm not going to kill anything. That I can promise you.
So it's so, you know, this journey of Narayan has, as a sculptor, as a designer, as an artist, I think is very philosophical at another level. I think for all of us who are listening to him, have a lot to take, even though we might not be practicing the same vocation that he does, but his thoughts and his ideas about universal brotherhood, about the need for compassion, about the respect to accept people as they are and not the way you want them to be, about the need to inherently enjoy and celebrate every moment, knowing fully well that the next moment could be a moment of despair. To look for that life within darkness, to look for that sparkle of light when you think everything has gone bleak and dull. I think this is really what Firelight is. It is this sparkle when you don't see the way forward. It is that hope, that ray of hope that can leave us all to think that we can do more, we can do better, we can work towards a better planet, we can work towards better relationships to begin with, in our own families, in our own homes, with our friends. I just don't think this world is necessary to be filled with squabbles and negativity, when there is so much that God has endowed and there's so much that we can celebrate. I think somewhere you have kindled this philosophical thought, which you have done through very evocative sculptures. But to all of us who are not necessarily sculptors or artists, I think we can take back this inspiration, this story, into our own life and try to emulate the philosophy behind his effort in whatever we do. So now, because we have gone through a very serious patch, we're going to make this a little lighter. So I don't know how much time we have, if anyone can guide me. 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
Okay. So we're going to make this a little lighter, and please, dear friends who are here, please do ask a few questions, and the more difficult they are, the more I would encourage you to do that. You can go under his skin. He has promised me that he allows everyone to go under his skin. So I've tried to be a little kind to him so far, as somebody who's a great admirer of his work, but you can please take some liberties. Tell me, we're going to ask some trivial questions also, just to make it lighter and better. Who is this woman personality amongst the well-known people, amongst, I mean, for lack of a better word, stars, whom you really think is the epitome of womanhood?
I'm surrounded by the epitome of womanhood. I'm surrounded by so much power. Like if I just put the name, it's endless. So, earlier was, there are few. Now in the audience were they're with me. So I can't take all names. But I feel cushioned. I feel respected. I feel when I'm down with emotions, they come up to me, the way they nurture me, the way they feed me. My 90% life, I really, really respect womanhood. And I feel, when I'm in a vulnerable condition, or I don't know what to do, even when I don't know how to put, grill or mixie or this and that, I always call this huge empowerment when I'm down with certain thing. So I can take names if you allow me, but if I forget one name, then I am gone. So that is there.
So you are you're at liberty to take as much risk as you want. I am out of risk in this. I am not being asked the question. So
should I?
Of course, that's your choice.
Yes. There are so many, if I forget, because the life, so you will understand. Please forgive me, love me the way you. Obviously, amar ma, amar teen jethima, amar bon amake mayer moto kore samlai, my daughter. If I'm talking about other women like Inapuri, Inadi, she really likes me, loves me. Joyashree Burman, Darshandi, Madhuneotia Madhudi, Priyanka, she is not Didi, first time. Then, oh my God, there is Ambika Bedi, Jobudi, Chonudi, Amar Minkudi,
এরকম দিদি করে বলে দাও তোদের ঝামেলা মিটবে
না একজন আছে অর্চনা নন্দিতা দি বাবা মেন লোক ভুলে যাচ্ছে আমি মার খেয়ে মরে যাব সরি আই এম কমপ্লিটলি ব্ল্যাঙ্ক অবভিয়াসলি মালবিকা দি
এখন এই সময় একটু মানে ওখানে টেকনিক্যাল প্রবলেম হয়ে যাবে, তো তুমি পরে বলতে পারবে যে এখন অনেক লোকের নাম বলেছিলাম, সেই টেকনিক্যাল প্রবলেমে কেটে গেল।
Yes.
Okay, tell me, which is your favorite color and why?
All colors are favorite, but the color temperature is important for me. You know, if it's a pink, it should be my kind of pink, burnt pink or something, or it's white, it should be confetti kind of color. So I believe in all colors, but I believe in natural color. Human color, the way human produce color, there is so much of error. I disrespect, I disown those colors, but my life is full of color. So, but whatever nature offer color, I appreciate all kind of colors.
In your work, which material do you like to work best with?
Obviously, my materials is only my Baba's materials, like lathe machines and automobile parts, junk part. You can give me anything. I appreciated them, and fabric, anything you can give it to me, and I love to work on that. But metal and old thing, any sort of old thing, like I love to work on. Yes.
So, in your work, not in Firelight, because this is really very avant-garde, but in your work there is a strong Bangaliana. There's a strong ethos of what we would think to be decadence Bengal, Zamindari Bengal, maybe a Renaissance Bengal. I don't know how you want to describe it. Is that deliberate, or is that something that happened because you live here?
In my life, there is no deliberate word for me. I'm very organic human being. You know, if you feel that there is a Bangaliana in my work, yes, I'm Bangali. I'm embedded like that way. I experience my life that way. But I'm not typical Bengali sensibility I believe in. I believe in Indian sensibility. And we have a vast canvas, and we have a rich heredity and culture, festive, color palette, everything is there. So I can say that I'm a global person, but I'm very happy and very proud to be an Indian, and I want to celebrate those color, those form, that celebration, that relationship over my work. So over the period you can see this thing. So it's evident that you know, it started with that Bengali sensibility, then Indian, obviously.
Can we ask you to ask something, please? Anyone? Difficult questions? हाँ बांग्लाते बोलबे बोलो अच्छा জানি Mala, you want to ask anything?
মালাদি তো কঠিনই জিজ্ঞেস করবে।
তাই জন্য তো একটু খুঁজছি কি করে তোমাকে একটু বিপদে।
That is the best question, obviously. যখন আমি নলহাটিতে ছিলাম তখন ওটা আমার ওয়ার্ল্ড ছিল, যখন আমি কলকাতায় এলাম তখন ওটা আমার ওয়ার্ল্ড হলো, অ্যান্ড যখন আমার দিল্লি, বম্বে বা ভারতবর্ষের অনেক জায়গায় গেলাম সেটা আমার ওয়ার্ল্ড হয়ে গেল। আর তারপরে যখন আমি টাকা রোজগার করলাম তখন আমি ভাবলাম, you know, I have to explore and experience all kind of cultures, color. It's not about only art festival or seminar or biennale or all these things. I don't want to restrict myself towards certain museum, gallery or the biennale. But when I start making my journey after, you know, roaming around India, and then I feel one thing, they're very bold, they're fearless. And obviously we are also fearless, but when I been to that Biennale, and suddenly I felt that this is my language, you know, this is, there is no such storytelling, or this is nothing, but one energy, and you know, there is so much of power to talk about and believe in your language. And then I saw that scale. I believe in scale. I love to sculpt. I keep talking to my didis and dadas that I love to do public installation, like 100 feet, 200 feet, 1,000 feet. You know, I feel, you know, with my little budget, I'm restricted to this small, small sculpture. But when I went there in Venice Biennale, I can see people can really play with their own words. So here I feel little claustrophobic because I'm self-sponsored human being. But in Venice Biennale, that made me brave to understand and to talk about my ability, and I can expand my ability towards that. So that Venice Biennale and other few biennales, you know, made me like that way. But obviously I'm an Indian, so my whole system, my language, my softness, that the way I experience my life, for sure that will be there because it's embedded in my life. So that I understand the scale and the bravery towards your language that I got to know from those journeys. Yeah.
So I got the answer to my other question, which is what next? So you want to do a public project with a massive scale. So
Yes.
let's hope we can all collectively help you one day to do this.
Please.
And achieve this dream. And I'm sure that will be a very, very prized installation for our city. Yes, Jeet.
Yes, that I already did. There is 165 sculptures like Joka part, but obviously Kolkata can do it. But the government should come forward. The Calcutta people should come forward. Jointly we can do it. There is so much of talent. So many things are there. There are so many houses are there. We should talk about those houses. People should experience before it get demolished, or, you know. So Calcutta has that heredity, that culture, that old world charm, and to contemporize it, you know, we should come forward as a human being. You know, I love to like perform or serve towards Kolkata Biennale if the whole Kolkata people come up and do it, and we have a space. So many spaces are there. We can do it. We can do it one day.
So all good things have to come to an end. কিন্তু শেষে তোমার একটা গান হতে হবে। হ্যাঁ, please বলো, please, sorry.
আমরা আসছি, এত লোকজন আসছে, দেখছে, তাদের রিয়াকশন কি হয়েছে? অ্যাপ্রিসিয়েশনটা বলছি না, সেটা জানি, সেটা আমরা সব জায়গায় দেখতে পাচ্ছি। ইমোশনাল রেসপন্স অফ পিপল হু হ্যাভ কাম, আমি জানি আমার হয়েছে, তাই জন্য জিজ্ঞেস করছি কি দেখেছো বা শুনেছো বা কি বলে থেকেছো?
সত্যি বলতে আমি যখন এই কাজটা করছিলাম, আমার কয়েকজন লোক ছাড়া জানতো না আমি কি কাজ করছি। আমার খুব কাছের মানুষরাও জানতো না যে আমি কি কাজ করছি, কেন করছি। বাট ভেতরে একটা শক্তি ছিল, যা করব সত্যতার সাথে করব, আর আমার এনার্জিটাকে এস্টাবলিশ করব। আমার বন্ধুরা বলেছিল যদি কেউ না বুঝতে পারে তুমি কি আবার ডিপ্রেশনে চলে যাবে। সো ওটা আমার একটা ট্যাগলাইন হয়ে গেছে রিসেন্টলি। তো আমি বললাম যে না, অ্যাটলিস্ট আমার নিজেকে জানা হবে, একটা সত্যতার সামনে দাঁড়ানো হবে। আর আমি কখনোই ভীত নই যে আমার দেবী একটা খুব সুন্দর ফর্ম, আমাকে লোক এস্থেটিকের জন্য জানে, বাট তার আগের 10 বছর কেউ জানে না, তাকে আমি অনেক কাজ করেছি, কেউ দেখেনি। এই 10 বছরটা পেরিয়েছি বলেই আজকে হয়তো ফায়ার লাইটে আমি এই প্ল্যাটফর্মটা পেয়েছি। এবার যখন এক্সিবিশনটা দাঁড়িয়ে গেল 11th of মার্চে, আমি প্রথম যেটা ফিল করলাম, আই ফিল লিবারেটেড, আই ফিল পাওয়ারফুল, অ্যান্ড আই ফিল দ্যাট আই এম অ্যালাইভ বডি, বিকজ এই ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজটা স্টার্ট হলো। তারপরে আমি অনেকজন বন্ধুকে ডাকলাম, তারা দেখলো, গম্ভীর মুখ করে বেরিয়ে চলে গেল। আমার খুব ভয় হচ্ছিল, বাট আমার একটা বিশ্বাস ছিল কেউ না দেখবে দেখুক, বাট আমি জানি আমি যেটা বলেছি এটা সত্যতার, আমি এনার্জিটা ফিল করতে পারছি। তারপরে আমি টেক্সট পেতে শুরু করলাম, কেউ ফোন করলো, সবাই বলল যে এমন একটা এনার্জি যেটা খুব ডিস্টার্বিং নয়, বাট এটাতে কষ্ট হচ্ছে, দুঃখ হচ্ছে, একটা মিক্সড ফিলিংস হচ্ছে, বাট সেই সময় আমার কিছু বলার মতো ছিল না। সেই সময় মানে এত ওভার পাওয়ারিং ছিল। তারপরে আমি অনেক টেক্সট পেলাম, এবং এগুলো কিন্তু আমি সিনিয়র, আমার বন্ধুরা অনেক সিনিয়র আবার জুনিয়র, তো সেটা যেমন পেয়েছি, তখন যা বলছিলাম আমি মেজর পড়ছে যে কথাগুলো শুনছিলাম, আমি কিছু ডেসক্রাইব করা, কোনো কিছু তো লেখা ছিল না, তখন স্কাল্পচারগুলো ছিল। আর তারপরে যখন বাচ্চারা এলো, বাচ্চা বলতে 17, 18 বা 20 বছর এলো, তারা এসে আমাকে, স্যার আমাকে বলে, আমার তো খুব লজ্জা লাগছিল, বাট তারপরে ওদের জীবনের গল্প বলতে শুরু করলো। স্যার আমার ডিপ্রেশন হয়েছিল, আপনি আমাকে একটু কথা বলবেন, আমরা তো আর্ট প্র্যাকটিস করি কিন্তু আমাদের কাছে টাকা নেই, আমরা গ্রামের বাড়ি থেকে এসেছি, এটা হচ্ছে আমার সমস্ত জার্নিটা ওরা বলছিল। তো এইখানে আমি সত্যি ইম্পর্টেন্ট ছিলাম না, আমার মনে হচ্ছে একটা এনার্জি, যদি মানুষ কানেক্টেড ওভার হয়, মানুষ যদি নিজের সাথে কথা বলে আর নিজের সাথে চালাকি করা বন্ধ করে, মানুষ দারুণ বাঁচতে পারবে, যেভাবে আমি বাঁচছিলাম। তো যখন ওইভাবে রেসপন্ড হচ্ছিল, সবাই বললো কলকাতাটার জন্য, মানে আমার যারা কাছের লোক, তুমি এইসব জিনিস করেছো, হয়তো কলকাতার কেউ দেখতে আসবে না, বাট প্রত্যেক দিন মানুষ আসছে, আর প্রত্যেক দিন আই ফিল হাম্বল। আমার মনে হচ্ছে যে একটা এনার্জি, সেই এনার্জিটা লোক অ্যাপ্রিসিয়েট করছে, তারপর কিন্তু আনন্দও পাচ্ছে, তো সেটাই রেসপন্স, আর আই ফিল ব্লেসড ওই রেসপন্সে।
দেখো, খুব ভালো হাওয়া দিচ্ছে, এখন তোমার গানের সময় চলে এসছে।
অ্যাকচুয়ালি আমি পারবো না, আমি ভুলে গেছি।
ভুলে গেছো? কি করে? একটা গান, একটু লাইন, দুটো লাইন। হ্যাঁ, বেসুরো হোক না, ইট ইজ এ সং অফ লাইফ।
লাইনও ভুল বলতে পারি, সবাই আমাকে মেরে ফেলবে, তো
না না,
যাই হোক, আমি
এখানে ভার্চুয়াল আছে না, কেউ মারবে না।
না, একটা গান আমাকে খুব নাড়া দিয়েছিল, আমি লিরিক্সটা ভুল বলতে পারি, তো আমি জাস্ট এক লাইন মানে কবিতার মতো করে বলছি। যখন পড়বে না মোর পায়ের চিহ্ন এই বাটে, আমি বাইব না, আমি বাইব না মোর ভাঙা তরি এই ঘাটে গো, যখন পড়বে না মোর পায়ের চিহ্ন এই বাটে।
On this beautiful note, thank you very much. Thank you, friends, for watching this. Thank you, Mala. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Thank you, Narayan.
থ্যাংক ইউ দাদা, থ্যাংক ইউ।
Thanks have been said, but the last thanks from Kolkata Literary Meet, Tata Steel. Thank you once again, Mr. Nyotia. Thank you, Narayan, for sharing with us your views about Firelight. If anyone is interested, I think Rohan is here to take you, to walk you through Firelight and some refreshments on that side.